nice warm day today.
Mike Cord will get required.
Well, the weather tested him today. After practice, I told him it was kind of like one of those opening games where you have a mild summer and all of a sudden it's smoking hot, playing at high noon, and then you got to fight through a little adversity when you're just when it's really warmer than what you trained in. So the guys fought through it, and we got better. I think it was kind of a feast or famine day. It was either a lot of big plays happening both ways, either a nice play offensively or interception or a forced fumble or something on defense. I think our defense is doing a really good job of raking the ball out, punching it out, raking it out. We had way too many balls come out, but it's a tribute to the defense for the job they're doing, and it's going to only make us better offensively. Overall, I thought the guys, fought through it pretty good. I thought we got better today, and I hear it's going to be maybe even warmer Thursday and Saturday, so it'll be good for us to get a little taste of it. With that, I'll open it up to your questions.
Coach Keith was back in red today. Does that mean he's without limitation? Is he 100% back with you guys?
I wouldn't say 100%, but he did get reps. He got more work than I thought he would. I wouldn't say he's back 100% right this minute, but he did get some reps, which is good for him and good for his fellow backs. Takes a little pressure off him. We had Hegedus got some reps today as well, and you could tell he was fatiguing before the practice was over. I'm not sure he finished the practice. I don't think he re-pulled it or anything, but I think we were just trying to be a little careful with those two guys as to how many reps they got today, first day back.
Without any setbacks, would Keith go with Saturday?
I don't know, because this morning in our staff meeting when we talked about the injuries, Keith was, I wouldn't say doubtful for today, but it was kind of pending, how he felt going in, but I just didn't think he'd practice, but he actually got a lot more today than I thought he would. So, will it be enough to go full speed on a Saturday? I don't know.
Coach, I know you talked the other day about your receiver maybe not be quite as pleased with the way they were catching the ball. How are they doing right now?
It's still inconsistent overall. I'm not going to call names out, but it's probably been more confined to one or two guys than it has been the whole group. But there have been too many balls on the ground. We've gotten better. The first couple of days, that's when I said we got to do a quality control report on how many balls we dropped so far in camp. I mean, by the first 3 days, I think I said we dropped 90 balls or something in all the drills and all the positions, not just receivers. And we've improved drastically from that. There's still too many balls. Here's the deal. If you get a play where you protect and you get a guy open and you put the ball in the money, you got to catch it. It's too hard. And if you're going to hit 60-70% of your passes, which is what we're kind of shooting for, you got to take advantage of the times when the times are good, because there's going to be balls batted down at the line of scrimmage. There's going to be times when you got to throw the ball away, or they sniff out a screen and you got to burn the ball. And so you get your incompletions off of those. But when everything's right, you got to, in that quarterback room, you got to hit, 95% of those, and you got to catch, 95% of them. It has gotten a lot better from the first 3 days, but we still got a ways to go as a unit.
What have you seen from Kimber and Carter in the inside for you, and what does that say about just that group in general over the last few seasons, that you've been able to get guys experience as time's gone on when their time finally comes?
Right. They've had a lot of practice reps, coming into this year. They're not rookies by any means. I think that they have tried to take on the leadership role in there. They've tried to be vocal as far as making calls and playing aggressive. They've certainly got a ways to go, and I wouldn't say anybody's nailed any position down for next season, but I do see them practicing hard and trying to lead as well. They're giving good effort for sure.
How much of Reggie Wilkerson? I mean, Damien, not Damien, but Sanders said the other day he was working with the star a little bit. Kind of what has he done to kind of put himself in that position?
Well, part of it is trying to find the right combination. Part of it is guys, gaining more experience and learning what to do and putting themselves in position to get some quality reps so coaches can make some decisions. But, I think he's had a solid spring so far. I think he's been, I can't think of a guy who's not trying his tail off to do it the way we're asking him to do it. I can't think of one guy. So he's one of many that are busting his tail trying to prove that he deserves some snaps in season and can help us on specials as well.
Coach, unlike last spring, you've got kind of a full room at tight end, and those guys are making plays and scrimmages and things like that. Can you kind of talk about that position and how deep you guys are there right now?
Well, right now we have had, with Jackson coming in mid-year, it did help out with the depth this spring. We do have a group of guys that have been able to stay healthy. We've had enough numbers to spread the reps around a little bit, and we've been blessed that no one's pulled a muscle or gotten nicked up. I don't know if anyone's missed any practice yet this spring, and Jay right this second is as healthy as he's been probably since he's been to Georgia, and that's been good for him. But they're a bunch of guys that are they take to coaching well. I think they got the right body types. I think they've got skills to catch and run block, pass block. It's a pretty versatile group of guys.
When it came to guys on defense and weight in the off-season program, it seems like it was the same this off-season as the previous one, tending to want to get these guys slimmer.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Well, we don't want fat guys. I mean, we want their body fat to be right, but we do want them to have a certain amount of size. But there's no doubt we ran more this from January to spring ball than we've run as a team since I've been here. Coach Hockey's got a team running plan that, these guys cardiovascularly are really in good shape. And when you run a lot, then you tend to trim up, and your weight does come down. And now you want to build back that good muscle mass and get our weight to where we don't get thrown around the yard either. We got to be stout enough to stand up to the teams we'll be playing defensively and be able to move people offensively. But I think that we've identified the guys that we want to gain the weight. We still got a couple, maybe one or two guys that might need to trim up a little bit, but everybody who's a little heavy is not far from their target. There's a few guys we just got to get bigger and stronger.
I know you'd love to have like a 370 whatever pound nose tackle in the middle, but when you look at your all's run defense last year, it was very good in a lot of games, and then there were two it wasn't. Did you see those two games as being games that were kind of the edges were the problem more so than?
No, I think that two things can happen really. One is just physically get thrown around, and the other one is maybe not to make your run fits exactly as they should be, and then a big run spits out of there. And there's probably a little bit of both in those games with the amount of rushing yards that happen. But the bottom line is we got to be physical enough and play with good pad level and good fundamentals enough to keep from getting moved. People want to move you, horizontally or vertically. They want to get some kind of movement from your down lineman, and those guys got to be stout enough to keep that from happening. And our backers got to be, be able to, fit properly, and safeties come and fit properly. Everybody's got to do their job. So you know, it's a combination of all that when you have that much rushing yardage on you.
Mark, what do you think about your secondary? It seems like you have a lot of guys that got a lot of action last year, extensive action for the first time in their careers that you have back. Obviously, Damien's not, but other guys.
They've been competing hard. You could tell they got a much greater understanding of what we're trying to do, matching routes and things of that nature, and being in the right leverage and just, you know, you gotta be in position to make plays, and then you gotta make the plays when they present themselves. But, you know, there's a lot more guys that really understand what they're doing this spring compared to a year ago, but it's, you know, it's just like a lot of positions on this team and on defense. We gotta compete again in the fall, because there's guys coming in that are gonna put some pressure on people. And not only are the guys competing against where they're competing against this spring, but they're competing against guys that are on the way. We're not afraid to you know, let some young guys get some snaps, quality snaps in camp, and we're not gonna say, well, you're fourth string or whatever because you're a rookie. We're gonna put them in there and see what they can do. And so there's a lot of competition still to happen.
Coach, I know you can't mention, you know, management when it comes to recruiting, but, you know, and you did have a lot of guys out there today. How unusual is that to have maybe that many for like a regular practice as opposed to like G-Day when a lot of them typically do show up?
You know what, things are, I think, first of all, there's some spring break going on, so that frees up guys to come. And the other thing is, you know, what was a typical junior day, you know, targeting everybody for that day, there's some value in that, and we still do that. But we've really changed our philosophy a little bit to say, just target the guys we like them, you know, we will like the most, and say, you come when it fits your schedule, we'll make it work. That's why, like a Tuesday, you'll have a bunch, and, you know, and really any given day, you know, there's some guys in town yesterday. There's guys, we had one day, the Saturday before the junior day, we might have had more guys that we offered than the day that we had the junior day. You know, it's kind of where it fits their schedule. And so we're going after the guys that we like and say, hey, get on this campus as many times as possible, and you come when it fits your schedule.
You like being able to kind of show the kids, though, what the coach is all about in practice?
Oh, yeah, we love them coming to practice, because it's, you know, they get to see who they're competing against, they get to see the coaching style. They just get, you know, a little flavor of the excitement of a day like today. I mean, it's good stuff.
Coach Sales said last week, you guys were testing the waters with Lamont Gilliard on the offensive line. That's 3 practices old now. How is that going?
I think he's got a very good body type. I think he is very strong. I think he's, you know, he's probably going to be one of the better athletes we would have on our offensive line right now, but he just doesn't know what to do yet. Until you know what to do, it's so hard to compete. But you can get in some drills, some pass rush drills, or some drills where it's more one-on-one. If things broken down into one-on-one or two-on-two, you kind of say, here's what you do on this play, and then snap the ball, and just get a feel for, does he have the skill set? And you know, I think he does. I think he has skill set to play D-line too. We just wanted to get a little taste of it and see what it looks like.
Good time for one more. Coach, you mentioned competition. Is there sort of a competition going on between Josh Dawson and Sterling Bailey, or maybe somebody else to replace Ray Drew? And who do you see?
Yeah, both those guys are going to play. You know what I mean? Somebody's going to start and somebody's going to get reps. But I think those guys are just, yeah, certainly everybody wants to be a starter. There's no doubt about that. But at those positions in the front line, D-line, we're gonna roll people, and they're all gonna get some snaps. And the big thing is when you're in there, play your tail off. It's just like, I think when Geno Atkins was here, I don't know if he may have started a few here and there, but if I remember correctly, he was second team a good bit, but getting a bunch of reps, and so those D-linemen get a lot of work.
Thanks.
All right, good.